thought I turned that off. I'd like to call to order the Schenectady City Council Committee meeting for Monday, June 5th, 2023. The first committee is Finance. I don't see Mr. Farrar.
Mayor,
Oh, okay.
For a few minutes, he's printing off some documents.
There he is.
Thank you. I would like to call the Finance Committee to order. And the first item is the presentation of the 2022 audit acceptance. Mr. Ferrari.
Good afternoon, Madam President, City Council, Mayor. We're here today. We have a presentation from one of the partners and owners of Kuzak and Company, our independent auditors for the City of Schenectady, who audited our books this year. He's going to do a presentation. And I have right for me the financial statements right here. Last year I sent it to you early, and you guys all forgot to bring them, so this time I'm bringing it forward. John, I'm going to pass these out, and then you will speak. Okay.
I'll pass them down. Okay. Okay. Go on here. This one. Thank you. Who they are? He wasn't kidding.
Be a test there. Some reading material for tonight.
All right, well, thank you all for having me here tonight. I just want to start off by saying thank you to Tony and the rest of their staff at the city here who helped us out during the audit, especially to Liz Nelson, who was our primary point of contact during the audit. Our ultimate responsibility during the audit is to be able to issue an opinion on your financial statements as to whether they're materially stated and whether they're in compliance with generally accepted accounting principles, otherwise known as GAAP. So our audit takes place in three main phases. The first main phase of our audit is the pre-audit phase, which takes place in December. So during this time, what we're doing is we're reviewing your internal control processes. We're testing those internal control processes. We perform variance and budget analysis. We review the city council meeting minutes, and we also complete our internal risk assessment procedures. The next is our audit fieldwork phase, which takes place in December. We use the information gathered during our pre-audit phase to develop our audit programs and verify that your account balances appear materially stated. And the third and final main phase of our audit is the reporting phase. This is where we review the financial statements that are prepared by your senior accountant, and we report on the final results. So the financial statements that you have in front of you, these are a 76-page document overall, and they're broken up into several major parts. So the first major part of your financial statements is on pages 1 through 7. This is the management's discussion and analysis. This is a required but unaudited section of your financial statements. It summarizes your operating results and also your other financial statement highlights. Pages 8 through 10, this is your independent auditor's report. This is where we issue our opinion on the financial statements. I am pleased to say that we have once again issued an unmodified opinion on your financial statements. So this is considered the highest level of assurance that we can give you. It's considered a clean report. We had no reportable findings or material issues. One important thing to note about your financial statements is that these are on the fund level and account group basis only, exclusive of the non-current governmental asset accounts. So these are not full GASB 34 compliance statements. They're on the fund level only. So we're issuing our opinion on the fund level only. Pages 11 through 13, these are your governmental fund balance sheets and statements of revenue, expenditures, and changes in fund balance. Approximated operating results for the year ending 12/31/22. The general fund had a surplus of $2.6 million. Water fund had a deficiency of $1 million. The sewer fund had a surplus of $14,000. The recreation fund, surplus of $248,000. Special grants and revenue fund, surplus of $23,000. And capital projects had a surplus of $2.5 million, which was primarily because of the proceeds from serial bond issuance and band redemptions. So the main contributing factors to the general fund surplus, and these are approximated: sales tax revenue exceeded your budget by $2.3 million. Casino revenues exceeded expectations $811,000. Prior year tax lien collections, these exceeded expectations by $3.1 million. Insurance recoveries exceeded expectations by $940,000. Mortgage tax revenues, these exceeded your expectations by $560,000. and your federal ARPA funds that were utilized during the year, $2.3 million. Overall, we feel that management does a very good job managing your reserves. Overall fund balance in the general fund, $18.9 million at the end of 2020. $6.4 million of that was restricted. The details of your restricted and assigned fund balances, these are on pages 51 and 52 of the notes and financial statements. Your band borrowings decreased by $461,000 during the year, primarily for principal repayment and conversion to serial bonds. New York State EFC borrowings, these increased by $2.4 million. Serial bond debt decreased by $1.1 million for repayment and refunding. Within the financial statements as well, you will see a decrease of $9.4 million in the city's net pension liability for the underfunded ERS and PFRS. Due to GASB Statement 68, you are required to put these items into your financial statements at their actuarial evaluations. Balance at the end of the year, $4.3 million liability for police and fire retirement. ERS was actually an asset of $3.6 million for the year in 2022. Total OPEB liability, this is your other post-employment benefits, decreased by $65 million to a $261 million liability overall. Page 14, that's your custodial fund. This is required by GASB Statement 84. This reports the property taxes collected for other governments not yet remitted. Pages 16 through 58, these are the notes of your financial statements. I wasn't going to go into any major detail on these, but if you're not comfortable with the face of the financial statements or the financial statements in general, notes are a very good read, highlight the significant accounting policies of the city and also the material account balances that appear in the face of the financial statements. Pages 59 through 65, these are your required supplemental financial information, budget to actual reports, ERS and PFRS pension asset liability detail, and also the OPEB detail and related ratios. On pages 66 through 76, this is the federal single audit. Since the city expended more than $750,000 in federal funding during the year, you are required to have what's called the federal single audit. Total federal expenditures for the year were $14.1 million. We are required to rotate our major programs selected every third year. So this year, the major programs that were audited were your community development block grant and also the ARP funds. We noted no material weaknesses, no significant deficiencies within the single audit. We were also able to issue an unmodified opinion on your single audit. It's a very good report, clean with no findings, no reportable issues. Your ARPA funds are required to be obligated by December 31st, 2024 and expended by December 31st, 2026. Currently, the city at year-end 2022 has $49 million of unexpended ARPA money that must be obligated and appropriated by that time period. So the general fund surplus in operation shows the city has continued to improve. So from an accounting standpoint, we felt that internal controls are very good, and the city is the city's accounting information is reliable. One additional item that you will see in the packet that you have is our post-governance letter. This is considered our management letter of required communication at the end of the audit. We did have one recommendation during the year, and this has to do with your municipal voucher bills. They're outstanding from previous years. We feel that these are being reported properly in the financial statements, but we do have some other items that we give recommendation to either consider writing these off, aggressive collections, or find some other means to either collect these items or just allow the accounting staff to get these off of the books. The only remaining item that we have for the audit is the federal census form. It's form SFSAC. It's required to be filed with the federal government. That reports your federal funds that were expended and audited during the single audit. So that's the last remaining item that we have for the audit. If there's any questions on the audit process in general, I kind of went through everything kind of quick, but if there's any questions I can take at this point on the audit results or the audit process in general.
Any questions? Comments?
We're just getting a chance. I haven't had a chance. We just got it, so I don't have any questions for you right now.
That's okay. So, Mary, what I had done for you last year is I did a summary of the operating results. If that might be helpful to you, what I can do is also send that again.
Sure.
I can send it to the entire city council, have them take a look at it. It would aid you in going through the financial statements to know the major highlights that
Okay. You can send it to the clerk and she'll send it out.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you very much.
Sounds good.
So are we moving this night or are we just? Just a presentation here.
It's,
Mr. Ferrari.
The Finance Department, we're requesting that you pass this tonight and accept the audit, if you don't mind. That way we
Well,
can,
what I would
we have
suggest,
certain-
Mr. Chairman, is move it forward. If anybody has any questions,
Yes.
do the summary and be able to get you the answers during the next week if there are points that come up that people want detailed information on or further explanations.
and the reason for this is that we have a time limit to send things to different parts of government. And we have certain number of days that our audit has to be complete and accepted by. That's why we're asking to move it along forward, so we can make all our dates for all our agencies. Hey, John?
Good, yes, Tony's correct. So we do have a limited amount of time from the end of our audit, so the substantial completion of our field work, until the finalization of the audit and issuance of the financial statement. So I think there is still some time to go over the results, and if there's any questions, I think that's, that could be appropriate if that's how you, I mean, I can't really tell you how to proceed. Only offer my opinion.
So what is the timeline? If we're talking about timeline here, can you give us more of a detail?
Yeah, I mean, I guess when would your next finance committee meeting be?
Our next Finance Committee meeting is in 2 weeks from now, right?
yes.
I think that would be reasonable. I think that would be okay. If you wanted additional time to go over this, send any questions back to me. If there's any concerns as you're going through the audit, that would be fine. But overall, I feel that they're in very good shape. I feel that, the numbers in there they're very clean. It's a very good report. So I don't think there's anything to preclude you from accepting them tonight, but if you wanted that additional time, that would be fine to me.
Okay, any other comment? Any comment?
I would want time to look at more. I mean, this is the first I've seen it. And not that I don't believe you. But given you said the fact that it's just timeline, if not, then we could have passed it, and then, if I had any questions in the meantime. But if you think there's no.
I absolutely think you could pass. I think you could pass it tonight if you were to accept it.
It is what it is. That's
So,
what it is.
I know I'm kind of going back and forth with different things. So the timeline would be more like we were waiting another month.
Oh.
Something like that. If we were getting into more rapid.
Process that moves it to full council a week from now, so if you hold it 2 weeks, it would actually be a month.
3 weeks.
Full.
3 weeks.
Okay.
That's why we're asking.
Yes. And if there's anything in between that time period, we could handle that.
Yeah.
I don't anticipate any material changes, so I would be looking more for material changes. If there's any large changes in the numbers that would substantially change the balances, but I don't think there's going to be anything.
Okay.
I mean, maybe general questions that you all might have, concerns or anything that you want some additional clarification on, but I don't think there'd be anything, including influence, passing them down.
All right.
We can pass it this evening, and if there's any additional questions, please send it and get your question answered, and then we can move it next Monday.
Okay.
All right, so,
I'll move it.
all in favor? Aye, thank you.
Thank you very much.
The next item is follow-up, ARPA contract. Ms. Porterfield.
Yes, so I asked Mr. Ferrari to give us a follow where we are with the ARPA contracts, in terms of what has been signed, what's out the door, where we are with the status of those that haven't answered.
Again, hello, everybody. I think it was 2 or 3 weeks ago, I think in May, middle of May, things have not changed since the middle of May. But we do have 3 contracts in place for the YWCA capital needs, the Bethesda House, Carrie's House, and Safe Inc. for critical needs. We have 3 in place, and we have 3 in the pipeline. We have the Schenectady Foundation, we have the BCNI, and the Hamilton Art Centers. What the plan is that we're having, we just lost one of our main guys, Dan Gray, who moved on, and so I'm in the process of taking it over. And what the plan is to do is, starting in the next couple of days and during the week, I'm actually going to be emailing, calling, and working with all the all the agencies and companies that we've had given the grants to see where they are, because we did ask them to deliver us some pre-contract reports. So I'm going to contact them. We're going to see where they are with that, and then I'll be able to personally give you a better idea of where we are with that. We're looking at time's running out. I mean, we have some things in August, and then in September. By September, all our contingencies are going to be worn off and going away. One of the things that I've noticed as I was looking through everything is we're starting to get a lot of these organizations are getting prices on what the projects that they're doing. And as you know, as we're going through this with the city projects, the costs have actually doubled. So one of the things we're going to have to think about is, are we going to be able to afford to pay these agencies when they come in and they didn't get funded enough? So that's something I just want to keep in back of your minds, something that we would need to do, or how we're going to do it going forward. Kristen, would you like to add anything?
I don't think so.
No? Any questions? You wanted to know how much we spent so far, right? So far, we spent $4 million. I got that number right here. Excuse me. So far, we spent $4,009,793.96. And the balance that we have left in ARPA, that is free and clear, I mean, without any, considering if every project goes through, we have $792,768.52.
Any questions?
Yeah.
So, Mr. Ferrari, we were having a conversation a couple of weeks ago when you were talking about the government might be talking about unexpended funds.
Correct.
So have you heard anything more? Can you expound on
Well,
that a bit?
as you know, they just recently passed the debt ceiling limit, and one of the main things out of that, up to the last day, they were going to claw back funds. I think at the final, as we're reading,
The version that passed Congress does not
include that.
touch any of the ARPA funds.
So,
or additional.
but I'm thinking going forward, that's something that's going to come back again. So that is the reason why I want to contact all the agencies. I want to get try to get all our money in a row. I want to get it all invested, and I want it to all work for us. Okay? Thank you.
Go ahead, please.
Mr. Ferrari, I know you're mentioning providing us an update from your emails, calls, and just in general.
Yeah.
When can we expect that?
Like I said, I'm going to start this week, and I'm figuring it's going to take me at least 2 weeks to get through everybody. So I'm going to get it all done so I can report back. I don't want to do half and then come back and report half. So maybe by the next council meeting we'll have that ready. So that's my goal.
Thank you.
And again, a lot of these agencies, they're reluctant to talk about or get this stuff to us, so hopefully I can get to everybody,
Thank you.
Thank you.
Any other questions, Mr. Ferrari? Thank you for your detail.
Thank you very much.
We're going to have this back, would you like to have this back in 2 weeks? Okay.
Yeah.
Any other business for finance? Motion to adjourn. All in favor? Aye. Thank you.
Call to order city development and planning. We have 17 items on the agenda. The first item is ceremonial resolution for Flag Day. Ms. Patrick?
Yes, June 14th is Flag Day. We've been doing this resolution for the last several years, and hopefully, if this passes through, we're going to have someone from the county, the new executive director of the County Veterans Affairs is going to come in, accept the resolution in a couple of weeks.
Motion?
I move this.
Second.
All's in favor?
Aye.
Next item, number 2, is ceremonial resolution recognizing the celebration of Juneteenth. So we all know Juneteenth will be celebrated here in the city of Schenectady, starting the weekend, I believe, of this. It's on the first day is on the 16th, so I'm just asking that we have a ceremonial resolution to present at the event that will be held in Central Park on that weekend.
Second.
Okay.
All those in favor? Aye. And the third one is a ceremony resolution recognizing Sergeant Robert Becker, who, as you know, has worked with the Vets Organization for a long time. He is not in good health, but they are doing doing him for honor of vets, so we'd like for the city council to have a resolution there.
I'll move this.
Second.
All's in favor?
Aye.
Okay, item number 4, seeker determination, Hamilton Hill rezoning to R2 two-family residential. Public hearing was on 5/22. Hi, Ms. Dion.
Hi, good evening, everybody. This request is related to the rezone that we brought a few weeks back for Hamilton Hill and rezoning the R1 area to R2. So the first item would be for the council to adopt a negative declaration for seeker. This is a determination of non-significance.
Any questions?
I'll move it.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay, item number 5, rezoning ordinance for Hamilton Hill rezoning R2 two-family district. The public hearing was on 5/22.
Same rezone, and this is just recommendation for the city council to pass the ordinance to change the zoning district of 27 acres from R1 single family to R2 two-family.
Are there any questions?
I'll move this.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Item number 6, 2023-2024 HUD Continuum of Care, Capital District-wide WMCA.
Yep, this request is related to the annual funding that we received from HUD for the Continuum of Care project in partnership with the Capital District YMCA. So this is to provide permanent housing and supportive services to homeless people with disabilities and their families. And so we are just requesting the City Council to approve the annual HUD COC contract for the YMCA allocation and authorize to enter a contract with the YMCA for this purpose.
Or any questions?
I'll move this.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Item number 7, demolition of 715 Rankin Avenue.
Yes, so this project we're excited to discuss. This is 715 Rankin Ave. It's a blighted warehouse that is non-conforming with the current zoning district, which is R1 single family. So this property has been listed for sale since 2021. We've never gotten an offer that was a viable, use for the property. It's been vacant for many years, and working with our partners at the Land Bank and Habitat for Humanity, we're looking to demolish the structure in partnership with the Land Bank, and then Habitat for Humanity is looking to subdivide into 3 lots to build 3 single-family homes for the neighborhood. So this is something that we're really excited about, to have a use here and to provide just a better use in the neighborhood, which is the R1 single-family district. So we do have our partners here if anybody has further questions, but the first request is just for the demolition of the building, which would be done by our partners at the Land Bank.
Are there any questions?
Great opportunity.
On to the motion.
So move.
Second?
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Okay. And number 8, sale of 715 Rankin Avenue.
So once the demolition is completed, this would be to authorize the sale of 715 Rankin to Habitat for Humanity in the amount of $3,000.
Any questions?
So move.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Okay. Is that it for you? All right.
That's it.
Okay. Item number 9 is for the sale of 1012 Eastern Avenue.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
1012 Eastern Avenue, the city has owned since August of 2017. It's located in a 2-family R2 district, and it is a property class 2-family as well. We are looking to sell this property to Habitat for Humanity, who will convert it to a single-family unit, which will also be rehabbed and then owner-occupied as well, in the amount of $1,500.
Any questions?
I'll move it.
Second.
I have a question. I was just wondering why we had the announcement of this before it came before the council. There was a press conference last week, and then we hadn't gone through this process yet.
Just messaging the deal that is being put in place.
So this particular property originally had a resolution for sale to Community Land Trust for the purposes also for owner occupied. Since the merger of BC&I, we did change around some of our projects, and so when Habitat did mention that they had interest in doing this particular project, it was something that we presented to the mayor in order to, talk about the successes of this new project coming forward.
I'm not questioning that process, but it's just that we had the announcement before it actually went for the council. So, all right, thank you. Thank you. Any other questions?
I'll move this.
Second, oh, it's a different one,
Yes.
okay.
No, it's the same one. But second, all those in favor?
Aye.
All right, item number 10, to authorize the issuance of a revocable permit number 675 to 101 State Street. Mr. Wallen.
I'm going to attempt to go digital.
Oh, all right.
So, revocable permit for 101 State Street, which was the old Campbell House. Well, I think it is the current Campbell House, but that's what it's known as. The two signs that are there are for a tattoo parlor and an art shop. They both went through planning, or meet with planning approval.
Other questions?
I'll move this.
Second,
All those in favor?
Aye.
Excuse me. Item number 11, authorize the mayor or his designee to enter a grant agreement with Metroplex for the North Center Street reconstruction.
So last cycle came forward with North Center Street Award. I said that in that time that we were looking to partner with Metroplex on this project for what we typically do in business areas with sidewalk work. And now they've passed it with their board, we have a grant agreement in place. So now we're looking to accept the grant agreement, authorize the mayor to sign the grant agreement. And David Oldham from Metroplex is here if there are any questions.
So you said something about sidewalks, so they're doing the entire sidewalk in front of this particular?
Yeah, this project is going to be a complete streets project. We are going to be doing curb and sidewalk. However, sidewalks are a controversial thing, so to speak. And, for our residents, we usually want our residents to do a petition and then pay for them out of pocket. So, conversations with Metroplex that came to be that, for the most equitable and fair things for all residents is that if we're going to do a downtown business development and sidewalks are involved, that the city would do curbing, roadway, we're doing drainage on this project, all the things that we would expect the city to do. But then when it comes to sidewalks, which we mostly put on the residents, Metroplex offers us these grant agreements. This is very similar to what we did on South Church Street, where Metroplex and the city did that project as well, so that we kind of have this equity, so that we can't say that we're talking out of both sides of our mouths when it comes to, it's always downtown, it's always development. So we have a development authority, and we're partnering with them to get projects done like this, which I think has been very successful.
All right. Any other questions?
I'll move this.
second,
All those in favor?
Aye.
Item number 12, award bidding contract for the 2023 Schenectady CHIPS paving program.
Yeah, no, this one, I noticed that the backup did not transfer, and I'm not sure why. So I printed out backup for this for everyone. And if you'd like to pass it around. Actually, I'll keep me and Sam will share it just so I can talk about it.
Okay. All right. No, you should probably have enough. Mr. Farley's left.
Sure. So I'll give you a minute to look, but we did get several bids for the project, and the bids were competitive.
Was there another one?
Oh.
Was the mayor?
I gave the
You
mayor.
get the mayor.
There you go.
You don't have
Oh, I'm sorry, you gave it yours.
it. Do you want?
No, you guys look, I know the numbers well. So Callahan was the apparent low bidder. The numbers were fairly competitive, and they were within our estimate. This is a program that we fund solely with our state money, which is CHIPS money. We get several allocations, which we actually accepted, I think, the last cycle. Those were the CHIPS Pave Our Potholes, state route touring money, Then we have emergency winter recovery money. So we accepted roughly $4 million from the state. We also had a little bit of a surplus. We also bond some money, but we're not going to try to use that right now. So we are looking to authorize the base bid in alternate one. Alternate one is the paving at the wastewater treatment plant or our water recovery facility. We've seen a lot of construction in that facility, and Commissioner Ofand asked that we add that to the paving program to pave the area now that the construction's been completed.
Other questions?
I'll move this.
I'll second it.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Okay, excuse me, item number 13, award bid contract for the North College Street rehabilitation, Newcastle paving.
Yes. So this one, I apologize, some of the backup that I wanted did not make it as well because I just did not have time to get it to you. So I understand, we'll just talk about it first. This is the North College Street Sidewalk Assessment Program. So we went forward and we, worked with the property owners, put together the bid package. This one we did a little bit different. We actually have each individual property owner with their own little piece of drawing in there. We haven't done that before, just to try to make it more easy for people to digest. And then under the new program, what we're going to be doing is taking their linear feet of frontage plus their lead walks and adding that together and then multiplying that by the $55 per foot that was approved. And then that would be the new number that is assessed. That is what did not make it. I actually have it. I just did not put it in. That was just my fault. I am going to distribute that and try to work with Diane Runkle, who's been leading it on the street, and some of the neighborhood residents that we're working on to kind of show them what the cost would be. I'm kind of in a gray area here how we want to move forward with this, though. Do we want to have them approve anything? Are we moving forward with it and the assumption that everyone's going to pay because they did the petition? I just want to make sure that we're in step with our next point of this, because this is something that they're going to be assessed a cost, and they haven't seen the cost yet.
So should we update them on the cost?
Before we do this.
Is it a mailer? Is it? I guess that's what.
How many houses or how many families, how many people are we talking about?
There's roughly 20 on each side. There's an apartment unit there, a large one. There are some changes that people will be, but I'd say right around 40 units.
But again, under the new rules where it's going to be the fixed cost per foot, it's not like there should be big surprises or people are taking it. But
So the mayor's correct that the residents in this neighborhood all were expecting no assistance, and the fees were quite high when we were talking with them. Now that it's a set price at 55, they're thrilled that they're actually getting some sort of assistance from the city. I think we move forward. I think it's important to tell them what their exact costs are, whether in a letter, but I think it's also important to move forward because this has been several years in the making, and I think they're very much looking for that.
Go ahead, please. You have something?
It's my committee. That's what I usually do.
Just went with it.
I saw that. So essentially, so the homeowners do or do not know at this point, but we'll just make them aware?
I can make them aware. I mean, they're aware of the 55, but they're not aware of the actual, I haven't given them the document. I have the document, but I was waiting for the bids, and I have not distributed it. And I've kind of got a lot of pots on fire here, and I just did not get to that step yet before this one.
But they know what their costs would be.
They do not know at this time, because I haven't distributed that sheet. It's an Excel spreadsheet similar to DeCamp and Ardsley Road. I've created it. It was meant to be in here, but it didn't make it into here, and then I was going to distribute it.
Okay, but they do know that the 55 they know, they just don't know the full cost.
Correct, they should know if it's.
so they should be able to estimate their frontage. But, Madam Chair, the one area the council still has to decide on is what we offer the residents is upon completion of this, the homeowner can pay the full bill with the tax bill at the end of the year, or enter into a financing mechanism over some period of time, which is still at the discretion of the council. So that you're going to have to decide, is it going to be 10 years, is it 15 years? So there may be some comments from the residents that they want a shorter period, they want a longer period.
And I did speak with Commissioner Ferrari. We have done 10 years on the past two.
On the past was 10?
Right, but we had talked about extending it to a minimum 15 maybe because the life of the concrete is longer than 15.
All right, so we'll need to take that up. Mr. Mutavera?
So, I have to agree in terms of notifying them so they actually have aware of the real cost. 10 years, we have actually given 10 years to the other two or three projects.
Two,
So
there's been two.
I would suggest that we do the same, 10 years, and they can come in and pay off, before that year time. But yes, we need to notify them.
Okay.
Despite the fact the cost is $55, let them know the exact cost.
$55 a 1 year for it. If it was $55, I would just say, okay.
Everybody's saying.
Yeah, exactly.
Let me correct that.
So at this time, we would need a motion to move it forward.
So,
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Item number 14, award bidding contract for the Central Park A-Diamond lighting.
Okay, this was a ARPA allocation of $500,000 to install collegiate level lighting at the A-Diamond. As most of you probably recall, we used to have lighting on the A-Diamond. It was outdated, non-functioning lighting. We've decided to upgrade it, and we have engaged with CHA Sports and Recreation. They put together a bid package, which we put out. The bid was higher than the ARPA funding, $716,000. We did get 3 bids. 2 of the bids were quite close. One of the bidders was the pool electrician who wanted to bid it, and they were actually the second bidder. So Stilson does the majority of electrical work in the area like this. They usually do signals and things like this. And the third bid, I would guess, is almost like a fishing attempt. If you're going to pay me, terrific, I'll do the work, but you can see that number. We don't think that this is a market price number. We think the only way to save money over something like this was to redesign and go to a high school level of lighting. However, we think that limits us because if we are collegiate level, that opens us up to what we have now, which is Bryan Stratton. It opens us to Siena, Union College, who we've, with like at one point discussed coming back. So we do have a capital fund that we set up for facility work that has enough capacity to cover the balance. So if you're okay with it, we'd like to move forward with this.
Question?
I'd move it.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Item number 15, award bidding contract for the Michigan Avenue baseball field wall.
Okay, this is a project that is a conglomerate project. It is both ARPA and a little bit of Thriving Neighborhoods done with the Schenectady Foundation. So this was originally put in for ARPA with a little bit of that, which is that the Schenectady Foundation has awarded them some money to, when we are done with this project and creating this level area off of Norwood, they will come in and put picnic tables or a pavilion as a gathering space for the Little League. We did it as a base bid with an add-all, but we decided to go with the base bid because we're a municipality, so things get a little bit more than you pay for if you were doing it privately. But we do see the merit in this. The wall will be about chest high for 100 feet along Norwood Avenue. It'll allow them to level out the top. It'll have a decorative fence, and they're going to look to, like I said, grade the top of it and then put some of the numbers in recognition of previous ball players that have played there. In Malloy, we've worked with them before. They've been a great contractor. We got several bids, so we're comfortable moving forward.
Are there any questions?
I'll move that.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Item number 16, discussion waiver of apprenticeship requirement for the Gulf irrigation installation contract.
So I'm in a position now where we are designed and ready to move forward with the bid package for the Skiddy's golf course. The issue that we are running into is a conflict of we would like to, we have in our bid spec qualifications qualifications of you have to have done this in the past. We like someone that has done golf course irrigation for 5 years, who's installed, you know, a minimum of 5 irrigation systems in the past. And the issue we have is that this is specialty work. The contractors that we're hoping bid, one is in New York State, one is in Pennsylvania, one is in Nebraska. Those are the 3 main players for it. The work does not necessarily fit into a common trade. I did talk with the New York State Department of Labor. They said that there is irrigation mentioned under specialty craftsman laborers. However, in that definition, which I should have brought to show you, it's under landscaping. So it's in the building section, so essentially, you know, building, parking lot, grass, bushes, landscaping. And then it says under their irrigation. This, in my interpretation, is not that. This is a golf course irrigation. It has data, low voltage communication. Since it's low voltage communication, it does not require an electrician. That would have, if it had required an electrician, we wouldn't have, then we could have used an electrician. This is low voltage lines. The system is actually going to be, it's not even comparable to the system that we have now. Each head will be individually programmed so we can put water on the course at any point. It's all linked to a computer software back-end program. It'd be amazing if we had it in now because the course is dry. And we're having issues keeping the course green right now with our manual system. But that is what I wanted to talk with you about, is that we haven't required, we haven't done this much, but we haven't had many specialty projects like this. So, kind of wanted to open for discussion.
Any discussion around this?
I'll move it.
I'll second it.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
Item number 17, the sale of 2315 Van Rankin Avenue, and that would be an executive session. Okay. So at this time, ask for a motion to recess City Development and Planning.
So, second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
We're in recess.
Oh, I'm sorry. Next up is claims. We have one item on the agenda, and it too needs to be in executive session, so I'll look for a motion to go into executive session.
So moved.
Okay, and I'll second it. All in favor? Aye. Okay.